Hey everybody, guess what? It's October 11th. It's the middle of the week. We've kind of reached a hump day on this holiday week, sort of. We're going to go over week 5. I didn't watch any football. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't watch anything. I was 20-year high school reunion having a blast. Up all night with girls trying to hit on them from high school. No, well, maybe I was. But I was. Either way, I wasn't successful. So let's see how it went in the football games. All right, week 5, we went 9-5. There's a couple bye teams this week, so there's only 14 games. We went 9-5. Not all bad, but I would like to go over some things. Of course, we didn't hit our 75% that we're trying to get to, but there were some interesting things here. And I had a phone call and a discussion with someone today, and we're talking about adding in lines here, like Vegas lines, and what they are to see if teams that are favored in this file are favored by Vegas as well. There's a few different things we'd like to go over. So let's go over game by game what happened. So our biggest favorite, according numerically to the file, was the Jets over Cleveland, because Cleveland is just awful. And the Jets did manage to win 17-14, so okay, we won that. Now, fine. And as you can see, I won 4 out of the first 5, but there was a big mess here, and it was Buffalo and Cincinnati. So the formulas in this file heavily weight defensive strength, and Buffalo's defense is good. I had Buffalo supposedly winning this game 18-15. They lost 20-16 to Cincinnati. Cincinnati was favored on the Vegas lines. This is kind of what prompted me to look this up. So I was going against the trend, and I was wrong. So that's a huge miss right here for me, and I'm noted as such. Kansas City was my lock of the week in my file. Look at this. I'm not going to curse myself, but we have 5 wins and 0 losses. I mean, this is the history of teams I picked each week. As verified by video evidence of me posting these videos. So I'm 5-0 so far. And that's all we're going to say about that to avoid cursing ourselves. Now, yes, that was a lot converted. Of course, Kansas City had to score a lot more than I thought they were going to need to, but they did. Philly is also another strong team. They also pulled it off against Arizona, and it was a crushing, and I definitely predicted that. Philly is really a good team. Minnesota did pull it out against Chicago, but it was closer than expected. But not closer than expected in my book. I was even thinking Chicago might even pull that off, but yeah, Minnesota does win that game. Okay, now here we get into some trouble. Raiders and the Ravens. Ravens had been looking terrible for the last few weeks and managed on the road to the Raiders are falling apart. And since the Redskins beat them, they have just been not looking healthy. And so that's a big loss there. I actually would have played them. If I was picking games, I would really like this 37%. I liked them in the video. So that's a big miss. Now, of course, Vegas or whatever had the Raiders as well, so we both missed on that. Seattle and the Rams. So here's a situation where I agreed with Vegas on this that the Rams should be favored, but Seattle is still Seattle, and the Rams have been touchy. They lost to the Skins at home. They do some weird things. They let San Francisco come back on them and almost come back like after being way behind. So I don't know. They're a weird team, and Seattle did hold it off. So we're both wrong here. I don't think I liked playing this game anyway because it was scary. Seattle's still Seattle. Green Bay over Dallas. I had this. Vegas had Dallas, and I had Green Bay. And Green Bay somehow pulled it off. That must have been a crazy game. I heard some guy in Dallas lit his own jersey while it was on him on fire while losing a bet because of this game. I think Rodgers did something nuts. I don't know. I was drunk at a reunion. I don't know what happened. All right, so Tennessee does suck, and I would not have played Tennessee at this 14%. Because they got destroyed the week before. Also, I think they let up like 50 points or something. So Miami, whatever, pulled this off. So it was a game I would have stayed away from anyway, but we lost it. Niners and Colts, I hated this game to begin with. I did not want to take either of them. I was like, can we set this up where we choose that they both lose? Because they're terrible. And it almost happened that way. I mean, Mike Pence walked out of the game, so that's a loss for everyone, right? Except America. Anyway, that was a terrible game. San Francisco somehow won, but both these teams are awful. And you can see my scoring was pretty close, right? I predicted 25. It was 23-26, and I had 25-21. That's fairly close there with these crappy teams. All right. The Chargers. I had the Chargers over the Giants. That's the one where I disagree with Vegas, and I was right. So the Giants are awful. I know. People are like, what? But the Chargers Yeah, they're a little better. I've predicted all 5 Chargers games correctly this season. I'm going to show you another table in a second on how we look at that. But anyway, win that. Patriots over Tampa, that seems like obvious, but it barely happened, right? It was 19-14, right? And then I had Carolina over Detroit. It was basically a toss-up, but Carolina does win by 3. A poor Detroit, because I think Detroit is a better team than their record represents. And then okay, so the Steelers-Jacksonville game. So it was at 0% in the file. Both ways. Like, it was like 0.3% or something for both teams if you looked at it. Now, Vegas had Pittsburgh favored by 7 in this game. So what this is telling you, if this is at 0%, is you must not take Pittsburgh laying 7 points, because there's basically a toss-up according to my file. So I'm saying that it basically is telling you to take Jacksonville if you're going to be playing this game at all, because you definitely don't want to take Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh is favored anyway. So if they're not showing as favored mathematically, do not take them here. So I'm giving myself the win because Jacksonville actually flat out won this game. So I'm giving myself a win even though that's a 0. I think my logic makes sense there. So we're at 9-5. A couple of these games, I wish we never even had to choose a team, like this one and this one. So I kind of look at myself as like 9-3 really, because these I thought we had probably, and this one especially. The Buffalo game's a huge loss. I'm just going to admit that flat out. I probably, if I was playing this, I mean, I gave Kansas City as my lock of the week just because they're playing great. And you know what, you know they are, and I don't ever want to take the Jets as my lock of the week, no matter who they're playing. So just that happened with Jacksonville the other weekend. I think that in Philly I would have taken if I had it available. Minnesota wasn't a terrible pick, given how bad Chicago is, and Minnesota usually going to win that game. But I really thought Oakland was going to win this, and then this game's kind of a toss-up. So there are 2 trouble spots, and that would be Oakland and Buffalo. But the file is Buffalo especially, because I don't know why Cincinnati's waking up all of a sudden. Now, here's what I want to show you about how to structure this by team as we go into week 6, and we say, what do we want to do? What teams are more reliable in how we have been able to predict them mathematically? So here what we have is every single team, not their record. This is not how many games they've won or they've lost. Why does Arizona only have 2? Week 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, away and home. Sorry. Okay, so this is the true number. So this is basically how many of all the games they've played over the season. Not Arizona is not 4-1. That's not their record. It's how many times we picked whether or not they won or lost and whether or not we were right. That's what the yes means here. So we've been 4-1 picking Arizona games. You know, Arizona, we missed them in week 1, but we've been right all the rest of the way with them. Okay. So Atlanta, we've been 2-2, and I guess they had a bye last week. Baltimore, we've been 3-2. Buffalo, as you can see, we've not had a great run with Buffalo. Carolina's been good. Chicago's been good. Cincinnati, a little bit. Cleveland, yeah, it's how tough is it to pick that Cleveland's going to lose, right? Dallas, we've been 4-1 picking Dallas games. Denver, 1-3. That's surprising. Detroit, I know I've had trouble with Detroit. Green Bay's been reliable. Houston, trouble. Indianapolis, trouble. Jacksonville, the worst team. I want to stay away from them completely and stay away from their games. Kansas City, super reliable. The Chargers are the team you want to play. Whatever this file says about the Chargers is probably going to be right. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. Rams, not good. Dolphins, half the time. Minnesota, not good. Pats, yes. Saints, yes. Giants, yes, because it's just the Giants are just going to lose, so it's easy. Jets, a little better than average. Trouble with Oakland. Loving Philly. Steelers, I've been pretty good with the Niners. And the only game I lost with the Niners was against the Colts. And, all right, so just kind of looking at this gives you an idea as we go into week 6 which teams we might see as most reliable, essentially, right? Or at least have been in the past. Now, I have not updated the file yet. I'm going to be doing a video on week 6 and everything. But what I'm going to show you are week 6 preliminaries that are based on old stats. So do not trust this is not accurate, but we're just going to glance at it. So I'm going to put something over the screen. I'm going to be like, hey, guess what? Let's insert some word art. No, not a signature line. For those people who are not like listening to me talk, this is not accurate. This is not current for week 6. That's right, folks. This is just a prep. Okay. All right. So basically, what this means is that this is what it was on with old stats. Okay, so what I think we should do is we should say quickly, what do we like, what do we not like, and I'm going to do another video with the actual file for people who want to purchase the file before this weekend. Arizona and Tampa, these are two crappy teams, so that's going to be trouble. Atlanta, Miami, probably Atlanta, yeah. Baltimore, Chicago. So now you think Baltimore's going to beat Chicago, but this game's trickier than you think because Baltimore's not good. They just won a game last week. Carolina and Philly, interesting. I do like Philly, but Carolina has some upset power. So if, I do like Philly here, but we'll see how much I like Philly as we update the file. Chicago, Baltimore, Cleveland. I'm actually just going to look at homes to make this quicker. Let's see. Okay, so this is still all games, but looking at it in a different way. Denver favored over the Giants? Sure. Denver's at home, so I think you can count on Denver winning that game. With ODB out, right, with a broken leg or something. I mean, just the Giants could go 0-16 this year. That's what it's looking like. Houston heavily favored over Cleveland. Is Cleveland ever going to win a game? The file says no. Well, we don't know this. Remember, these are not accurate yet. This is based off old stats. So, but yeah, probably Houston's going to win, right? Jacksonville, LA. I tell you what. I tell you right now. I want to stay the hell away from that game. I don't like this game at all. As you can see how unpredictable I was with the Rams of Jacksonville. I do not want to play that game. Kansas City should beat the Steelers. Yeah, I do believe in that. That's almost a lock of the week again. I can't choose them, but yeah, that's going to happen. Minnesota and Green Bay, these games are always fun. Probably favor Green Bay, but anything can happen. Green Bay's been on a little streak of luck boxing, so I don't know about that either, but I'm probably going to want to take Green Bay there. Saints and Lions, I don't know. No comment. Jets and Pats. Now, this is funny, right? So the Patriots have no defense still. And the Jets have coming off some accidental wins. This is funny. This is a weird game. And I'm probably going to want to take the Jets, even though I'm not thinking they're going to win the game. That's going to be very close. This game is going to be like a 30-27 game or something, I think. Probably like 27, 24, 20, 30, 27, 30, 24. I don't know. If the Patriots are favored by anything more than a few points, I would want to take the Jets here. All right, so Raiders and the Chargers. Well, we always say go with what the Chargers do, but the Raiders are. This is tough. This is a tough one. This 42% I tell you is not right. I guarantee you that's wrong. Well, especially when we update the new stats. But I think it's a very tough game to pick because Chargers are not good, but Raiders are playing like shit. So this is trouble. Tennessee and Indianapolis. Ugh, more crappy teams. I think Tennessee should win this game though. They'll be due to beat them, and they're at home. And then the Skins against the Niners. The Skins are going to beat the Niners. Yeah, Skins are pretty good right now, and they're going to beat the Niners. That might be my lock of the week, actually. I think that the Skins can beat them. Even though the Niners, the Niners just lost. Yeah, the Skins are going to beat the Niners. Without even looking at any other games, I will tell you the Skins over the Niners is my lock of the week. Absolutely. Coming off a bye, and absolutely. Yeah, Skins. All right, that's my lock of the week before the video. I'll tell you that, but the rest of the real numbers are going to be for paying people who want to pay for the file, and then I'll also release it on the video on Sunday morning, probably for everybody else. So that's your week 5 and week 6 roll, and if you're interested in going to file, go to kenbraverman.com. It's only $5, and you can learn a little bit about Excel and how to pivot stuff. All right, so we're out for now.